Hello friends, welcome to my channel Electronics with RP. In the last video, we discussed about atom, we discussed about electrons, we discussed about valency band, we discussed about conduction band, we saw insulators, we saw conductors, we saw semiconductors. Today, let us look at certain components that are used in electronic circuits. So the first thing that is used is a power supply. Now there are two types of power supply that is available. One is known as AC and one is known as DC. AC is alternating current, DC is direct current. This is 0, this is 220, this is minus 220. So the voltage starts from 0. So from 0 it goes to a peak of positive 220, then it comes back to 0, then it goes to a negative of 220, then it comes back to 0. So this keeps on happening. So this is known as alternate current or AC. DC is a fixed line. This is direct current, DC. So depending on the application, both these power sources are used in electronics. This AC is also known as AC mains, which is 220 volts, and DC is available in what is known as batteries. So batteries are source of DC. Now let's look at another component, which is resistor. Resistor, as the name suggests, it is going to resist. So what is it going to resist? It will resist the flow of current. So sometimes we require artificial resistors to be put so that the flow of electrons can be controlled. So in order to control the current and perform some function, we require resistors. So resistor symbol is this. So it offers resistance to flow of current. So when flow of current is flowing, the current will be dropped. It will give a resistance. This resistance is measured in ohms. So ohms is a small unit. We have something that is known as kilo ohms, mega ohms. So this is about resistor. Similarly, we also have something that is known as capacitor. Now capacitor is a component which is used to store electric charge. So if I have a battery, this is capacitor. Now the positive charge from the positive terminal of the battery gets stored here, and the negative charge, that is electrons, from the negative terminal gets stored over here. Now two plates with a gap, this is dielectric. It is filled with dielectric. Sometimes it is filled with air, it is filled with mica, it is filled of many other that we will study later. Now this capacitance is measured in farads. Again, farad is a very large unit, so we have microfarad, millifarad, nanofarad. Now, the charge stored is directly proportional to the length of these plates. So if the length of the plate is big, long, more charge will be stored. It also is dependent on the distance between the two plates. So if the distance between the two plates is small, then also a large amount of charge can be stored. If the distance between two plates are more, then less amount of charge will be stored in that capacitor. So this is the capacitor which will be used in electronic circuits. So now we have understood voltage, we have understood current, we have understood resistance. So now we come to something that is known as Ohm's law. Now what does the Ohm's law say? So Ohm's law says that voltage is equal to current into resistance. So the current flowing through the resistance and the value of the resistance is equal to the voltage. This is known as Ohm's law, which is very important. Alternately, we can also have I is equal to So in any given circuit, you can measure voltage, you can calculate voltage, you can calculate the current, you can also calculate the resistance. So this is all about Ohm's law. So thank you friends. Let's meet in the next lecture. Goodbye.